Yesterday I had a bit of a moment, which was very indicative of one of the 10 games that I've played so far on Ranked. There will come a moment in the game where the opponent will have some sort of like play against me, and then I just don't know what to do. Because if I follow the build order, I know what kind of steps I need to take, I know what I need to do. But the moment that, you know, like they raid into my town, I'm kind of like, what do I do? Because now they got the stronger army, they got the better resources, they got the better everything. How do I come back? I feel like I've lost everything, and I just go into panic mode and I lose.
Are we being attacked right now? Oh shit, they're through. I just don't know what the hell I am supposed to do at this point in time. I have the counter unit, but it does nothing. It does literally jack shit, and these guys just keep on running around. I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel this is GG. So yesterday, I asked you guys, like, do you have any interesting videos or games that you've played or you've seen people play where you see people come back from, like, a situation where I've been in? So I can take a look at, like, what do I need to do? Now, obviously, you guys said, like, nah, listen, you can't entirely go ahead and give a build order for that because, let's face it, every single situation is going to be different. Every single time you're going to be raided somewhere around Castle Age or later on, you're going to have a completely different situation that you can tackle in like numerous different ways. You can compare it to a chessboard. Let's say your queen gets stolen. Your queen can get stolen in many different places, but then you can still have like towers, you can still have rooks, you can still have knights, and all of these are valuable pieces that you can use to earn a checkmate. So there's not one single build order that you can use to get yourself out of the situation, which I understand. However, here comes the thing, is that I just don't know anything at this point in time. It's like, I don't know what my pieces are that I need to do. Do I need to start moving with the pawns? Do I need to start, you know, like just turning the king around in circles? I have no clue. Same thing in Age of Empires 2. I just don't know what I really need to do because there's so much. Do I need to like build walls? Do I need to do anything? So I just had no clue, and I kind of wanted to get some inspiration, see other people play a game where they have to come back and then see step by step what they need to do. Now, I have found this one video by a guy named Hera right here, who seems to have quite a lot of subscribers and also seems to be quite good at the game from what I've heard. I've heard him being referenced quite a couple of times already, so yeah, this video right here is called How to Come Back from a Bad Early Game. Now, this video right here features the entire game, which is actually a very compelling game. We're not going to watch it in its entirety because, you know, if you want to watch this video, go check it out. But yeah, we will watch a little bit of where he's being raided by some knights, very similar to what I had yesterday, and then see like what he does and how that may inspire me to go further. This dino says a guy named Hera. Hey, maybe I'm committing sacrilege right now. I don't know. Hey, give me some leniency. I already got my community entirely angry when I gave some guy named Viper like or the wrong color. So I'm sorry about that. I mean, like, I am new. Right. So this right here is what we have the knights running in. Now, yesterday I had about 5 knights coming in. He has more knights, and he also has two I think mangonels or onagers over there attacking as well. So it is a little bit more stronger. But at the same time, you see open town centers and then archers, which is very, very similar to what I was facing. One thing that always really surprises me, like how slow Age of Empires is if you're not playing. Like, this feels like it's on 0.75 speed compared to what I feel like I'm playing. But yeah, as we see right here, we have like a big attack going on. And one thing I'm curious about right now, he has a bunch of archers. I can't tell how many archers. It seems like he has 7 archers in the group. So one thing I'm curious about is like, what does he do when these knights come through? Obviously, he's pulled his villagers inside, but he's still producing farms. And I'm curious whether he is going to send all of his units towards the horses or what he's going to be doing. Like, I'm really, really curious. It's like, what is this? What are his steps? Like, do you produce army? Do you go for the counter unit? Do you go and wall up? We're just going to see. Knights are here in the back of the base. This is pretty bad. The 2 town centers there are idle. We see that he's building a castle right here to lock that area down, and there's still villagers in queue and some archers. One thing that I'm really quite interested in is, I don't know if you can see this. I'm just going to zoom in on this. Is that he only has like 1 in the queue everywhere. It's like, for me, when I'm stressed out, I'm just mashing that button of like, I want to queue, because I want to build up a whole bunch of things. However, he doesn't do that, because most likely that is better, instead of having 1 archer range like 20 in queue and 1 with nothing. Right, so this raid is coming in. Again, like this right here is the same thing that I'm encountering. These knights are right next to the TC, and it feels like it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. You have the villagers here on stone, and they're gone.
Now that right there I thought was a really interesting move. So he does have villagers right here in the TC. I went to click on it as though it was capture H. It's not capture H. But one thing that I thought was really interesting is like, normally I would send everything back to the TC to just be safe. But that means that you're not mining stone. So I do like that right here he keeps the villagers on stone, it seems, to keep getting the resource. And the moment that the horses come close, he sends them right back to the TC. But he also sends out the villagers that were inside back out so they can get to work. That is something which I feel could be very, very handy. Instead of keeping everything inside the TC because you're afraid they're going to get hit there, if the horses are there, you don't need to defend over there. The horses are still inside. They're still somewhere over here. But you see, he's completely focused on his eco. And one thing I'm curious about is, like, I'm seeing already, if you look up right here again, villagers in queue, 1 crossbow. So it seems like he hasn't engaged directly in a big fight. See, the knights are over here. He hasn't sent his archers to go right in as what I did, just like send them right in and let them get slaughtered. He is slowly building them up, but I'm not seeing him like make massive amounts of counter units. I'm also not seeing him like make massive amounts of archers, like going like, let's go cancel like eco production, let's go full on army. It seems like he's actually kind of prioritizing his eco. Here another like unit comes in, another raid comes in, so that's curious to see like how's he going to deal with that. Say we have like a single archer there being picked off. The archers, the knights right here underneath the castle. Villagers go inside the castle, and we have the raid coming in here. Let's see what's going to happen. Still, villagers only being queued up. No army, villagers. Interesting. How's it going to turn out? Market being built, that's also something for me. It's really hard. Like, I don't tend to build markets because that wasn't really in the builds, but it is the #1 building that I need when I need to be adaptive. So that is something that I need to be more aware of, like build the markets faster the moment something goes wrong. And this right here is interesting. It's like, yeah, once the villagers are inside the castle, like one thing that I get worried about is like, oh man, the castle doesn't have murder rolls, so the horses don't get hit. But it does seem like people do get kind of worried, like I need to get value out of my horses. So they don't just keep the knights around. They kind of want to move on to the next area. And then the moment they move out, then you can send them back in. And you already see like 3 horses down to that castle fire. So yeah, here the push is still going on. Eco is coming back. Again, so much eco focus. He is on 91 villagers. Now, I kind of want to see if we go back to right at the start of the raid. He was on 73 villagers. So it's, whoa, like during this raid, just because you keep on producing eco, it's like, that's insane. That is insane. I don't know whether this is useful in every situation. Let's see if we go back to the moment that we were just at. We were at 91 villagers, yeah, right there. Because here a new raid is forming. But it's really interesting that my initial reaction, this right here, again, like this doesn't mean that this is useful for every single situation. I'm not saying that. But the thing that I'm thinking about is my first reaction to being raided by something like this is, I gotta make counter units. I just gotta fire all the counter units as fast as I can towards the army. But it seems like you don't have to do that. I feel like I'm getting myself dominated by like a couple knights in my eco. Like that changes around what I do with my eco. Here it seems to be the other way around. It's like he's working on his eco, and whenever the knights come around, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just shift that around. But these things here don't seem to be influencing like the villagers over there or over there. And then once the horses move around, see, like, these guys just walk away. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, that happened. And I've only been seeing these archers stay close to the TC, kind of in this area. They're not chasing the horses around. And again, we're just seeing, like, villagers and 2 archers. So right now, sending the villagers out over there, having the horses chased. That TC is likely going to go down. But you see, these villagers walk away. They just walk away. They don't stand to keep the TC alive. The archers coming out. Let's see, how does he keep those alive, or do these die? In the meantime, right here, archers are not being made, so there's a bit bigger focus on army, but still making fills. Always make fills, even though he is at 96. So yeah, villagers come out there. That's also quite interesting. I want to go back to this moment. Because do you see what he's doing here? Tell me if this is interesting, whether I've caught on to something here. But what I'm noticing here is like his villagers right here are inside the TC to fire the arrows, inside. And the moment the horses get next to the TC, I would say everyone needs to be in because they're right here. But I'm actually seeing that the moment they get next to the TC, he jumps out to make, I think, is it the archers jump in? It's like, yeah, jump out the villagers so the archers can jump in. Here I would not know how to come back from this. Because even though, I mean, like, he does spread out so much. Like, he does spread, like, the attack is happening right over here in the mini map, but he's already spread out over there and spread out over there. So that if this gets taken down, you're already building up over there. More horses coming in. I'm curious as to like when this is going to turn around, because I know in a couple of minutes like this will turn around. But it's like if this were to happen to me, like I would just freak out. I would be absolutely freaking out at this point in time, and I'd be like, I don't know what to do. But how many horses were these? I think there were 5 or 6, and now he is kind of getting them in because his army is large enough. How many archers is that? 15. Interesting. Right. Right, and now that seems to have somewhat stable. Like now already, it seems to have somewhat stabilized. So I think that what I'm seeing here is if I get attacked, one thing that I can do, instead of just being like I need to go full counter unit, is if it happens that I'm being attacked with like enemy units get into my eco, one thing that I'm seeing here that I can do is instead of just going like stop everything, everyone to safety, and I'm sending the counter unit, instead of doing that, what I can do is I can mass up the unit that I've specialized in, but not focus on that entirely. Make sure that the eco that might get killed is being replaced, keep up the eco. And then where the attack is happening, there's only one place that the attack is happening. So move that around. Take these villagers away where, like, around where they're attacking, and just like water, the moment that the object moves through, fill right back in. I think that can be very, very useful. Just for me as an idea, it's like, what can I do? Because like I'm also not seeing him like rushing in to like wall things in, close things off, because I mean that also hinders his mobility. Is that smart for me? I don't think so. I think that for me, like having the security of like wolves is still very good, because again, I don't have the micro skills, but it is interesting to see. So this right here is just an example of me trying to say like, what can I do? How do people who are better than me come back from being raided? And with just an example, I think there's some interesting things for me to see. I don't know if it's going to be super useful, but we'll see.